Hey love, what's up? Welcome to Confidently Uncomfortable. I'm your host Jago, health and lifestyle coach and not so regal confidence queen. Coming at you with the real, the raw, and of course, the uncomfortable. My mission is to show you that to be confident, it has absolutely nothing to do with being perfect or having it all together, and everything to do with you getting uncomfortable and pushing your limits. Thanks for joining me. Let's dive in. I'm so excited for today because we are going to be talking about how to take back your confidence. I have so many women that come to me and the original feeling is, Jago, I want to lose weight. I want to get healthy. I want to do all these things. And most of the things that people are coming to me with are physical changes, right? Physical changes of the body. And then when we start to break it down and really dig into the why behind it, the truth of the matter is what they're seeking is confidence. They want to feel confident in their skin. They want to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and think, damn, I look good. They want to walk into a room and feel like they are a presence to be reckoned with and not something to just hide behind and go hide in a corner. And that has to do with feeling powerful and confident and strong. And none of it has to do with the number on the scale, right? When you start to break it down, what you're looking for in that confidence is not solely on the scale. We might think that when we get to a number that's going to help us, but the truth of the matter is I have been all different shapes and sizes in my entire life, and I'm my happiest and most confident right now, and still at my biggest weight ever. So if you think that there is a connection between the number on the scale and your confidence, I can tell you from personal experience that is not true. It's a lie that we tell ourselves because we think that is what we need. It's what we're being sold our entire lives, that we're supposed to want to be smaller, and that's the be-all, end-all goal. There's nothing wrong with having the weight loss goals, but if you truly are breaking it down and recognizing no, I just want to feel really freaking confident when I walk out onto a beach, when I walk into a room full of people, when I'm presenting for work, if that is what you're really wanting and striving towards, I'm going to teach you how to take it back. Because the truth is, it's been stolen from you. At some point in your life, your confidence was taken from you. Might sound a little drastic, but it's true. So I want you, and I'm going to share my personal story, but I want you to take a second and think back about when you were a kid and you were carefree and didn't really think about losing weight. You didn't really think about, in general, you just lived your life, right? You played, you had fun, you laughed, you hung out with other kids. At some point, something changed. And for me, that had to do with when I was a kid and finally didn't care about my body, didn't really think twice about it, but I went to a pool and I finally got to wear a bikini. I was a kid, only 8 or 10 years old, 10 years old probably. My mom probably waited till I was 10, who knows? But I got to wear a 2-piece bathing suit and I thought it was such a cool thing. I felt like a big girl because all the big girls got to wear it. And I wore it to the pool and a kid came out to me, an older guy, and he pointed at my stomach and said, you can't wear that. Your stomach goes out. That's not a good thing. That's not pretty, whatever he said. I don't know. All I know is I remember him distinctly pointing at my stomach and I went to the bathroom and I freaking cried. I was young. I was really young. And I'd never really thought about my body in that way. And so from that point on, it wasn't it was every single day, but I remember there just being consistent points in my life where I would stop and just not feel like I was right. I felt like I was in the wrong body. I felt like I was the wrong size. I felt like at that point I was always comparing myself. I hadn't really thought about that before, about my stomach going out. I was a bigger kid. I wasn't super real thin, and that's okay. But that's at that point, it felt like it was fully taken from me to where now I was questioning what I was wearing. I was feeling the need to go on a diet at freaking God, 10 or 11. I was already trying to lose weight and go on a diet. That is not okay. That's not okay. And the truth is, every time I was going on a diet when I was younger, even when I was 16, 18, 19 in college, it was always going on a diet for other people because I felt like I was supposed to do that because I was trying to fit someone else's standards. And that's bullshit. And the thing is learning to take back your confidence gets you to stop having to please other people and only focus on yourself and what you need and what it takes for you to live your best life. And it might have something to do with some changes in your weight, but most likely the majority of the changes that we need to make have nothing to do with the scale. It has to do with the things we're doing to make ourselves feel really good. So the steps to take it back, I want you to first just think back to when was your confidence first taken from you by someone else? At some point in your life, something happened to make you just feel like you weren't enough. In your own body, in your own skin, you just felt like this is not where I want to be. You might not be at that point right now, and that's great. You might be already past it, and that's awesome. I want you to send this to someone else and help them if they're struggling with that. But be specific. Sometimes it's society creating a feeling of inadequacy with like advertisements, and this time of year, especially in the beginning of the year, they're always trying to tell you you need to lose weight, you need to do it quick and fast, and this is the only way that you're going to feel good. And that's a society thing that we're constantly, you're born into it. As soon as you're born, especially as women, but as soon as you're born, you're feeling inadequate. You're feeling like you're not enough, and you're feeling like you have to constantly be searching for something in order to be satisfied with who you are on the inside and the outside. So take some time to think about that. Me working and speaking to that person. So basically I thought about that instance, and then I wrote a letter to myself. I wrote a letter to my younger self, just what I would say to this girl that's feeling this way. And so I challenge you to do the same. And if you're still in that mindset, it's okay. I'm going to talk to you about how to take it back. So I have some steps and kind of breaking it down into 5 steps to take back your confidence. Doesn't happen overnight. I always say that because I want to remind you that it does take time. It's an up and down roller coaster, but you're still progressing just by working on this, just by listening to this podcast, just by continuing to focus on self-development and what it is that you want to live your very best life. So first thing is to stop apologizing. Stop apologizing. Constantly, we're apologizing for our opinions, for our emotions, for our outlooks on life, for being late, for speaking up. It's like anything you say, we end it with an apology. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this seems angry. I'm sorry if I seem rude. I'm sorry if blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. I used to be a freaking serial apologizer. I was constantly apologizing for things. It doesn't mean that things aren't ever your fault, but I think that it's important to shift that apology. Instead of apologizing for your emotions, I would instead explain them further or just say them and stop, in the sentence. Say, I feel this way, end of sentence. Don't say, I'm sorry that I'm feeling this way. We are so quick to apologize because we immediately feel like we don't have a right to speak up. I think in a room, often in a work setting, for example, after we explain ourselves, we tend to want to apologize for it. Or we even, after we've said it, we leave the room and we're thinking oh my God, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have been so direct. Maybe I shouldn't have expressed my opinion. And that's not true. Your opinion matters, and you don't need to apologize for how you're feeling. You don't need to apologize when you're feeling overly emotional. I see so many women I work with will start to cry when we're having a breakthrough and we're really getting real and raw with some things we're going through. And the immediate response is, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm crying right now. I'm so sorry. And I never want my clients to feel like they need to apologize for being real and having raw emotion. We're so quick to feel like that strength is in covering up that emotion and keeping it, quote unquote, keeping it together. No, the truth is, and I love Brené Brown talks about this, is the strength and vulnerability. And so the ability to be vulnerable and be real, don't apologize for that, embrace it. And when you see someone else doing that and being able to be vulnerable, embrace that, because it's scary at first, but there's so much strength in it when you see someone being real. So stop apologizing. Second thing to take back your confidence is to find your voice. This is a hard one. This is a big ask, to find your voice, because when's the last time you stopped and asked yourself, what do I want? Where I'm at right now, is everything that I'm working towards something that I want or something that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing? we have this timeline that either is created for us or in our mind we've created it. What is our why behind it? Why are we doing these things? And then finding your voice means basically breaking down what it is your goals are and how are you going to make it happen, and making sure that it's for you and not anyone else. It can benefit other people, but I want it to first benefit you. So by finding your voice, it's really finding that passion again. So if you feel like you're a little bit of a slump, or you're not really sure what you're doing, like, take some time and think back to what brings you joy. And if it's been a while since you've felt that joy in your life, try and reflect on when's the last time you felt truly joyful. What were you doing at that time? Who were you with? Were you traveling? Were you with family? Were you with friends? Were you doing a specific job that you used to love doing? Were you doing a specific hobby that you used to love that maybe you've gotten out of the habit of doing? That is going to help you redefine like what your passions are. It's going to help you find your voice again. And once you find it, speak up, speak loud. And the next thing I want to talk about is number 3, take up space. So taking back your confidence means, instead of asking for a seat at the table, freaking either building your own or grabbing your own seat and sitting there. Like, sometimes we feel like we have to wait until someone beckons us over to the table's obviously a metaphor, but beckons us over to like speak our opinion or state our claim or talk about things that we want. Take up space. Stop trying to be small. Stop trying to hide in the corner when you have so much to offer. A lot of times we think, well, I'm not special. I don't have anything to offer. I mean, what makes me, my life isn't so great. And that is not true. That's a lie you're telling yourself because you're in that comparison mindset. But you are the only you out there in this entire universe. There is no one else like you. Let that sink in. That's amazing. That means that your thoughts, who you are, what makes you amazing and unique, can't be found anywhere else. So that means what you're thinking, what you want, what all of those desires in your life matter. So don't hesitate to take up space for that. Please don't live small. You were created to take up space on this world. Do it. And don't apologize for it. Use your voice, take up space, stop apologizing. All right, the next one, I only have 2 more. Go after what you want. Again, this has to do with like, well, what do I want? I don't know. Like, let me figure this out. Figure out what it is that you want, that you're passionate about, that you love, and then go after it. What is it going to take? The big change that you want to make in your life, it's going to take some big action. So figure out what those changes are, what it is that you want, and then break it down and take action starting today. It doesn't have to be this crazy big one action that you're going to make, but like figure out what needs to shift in your life for you to get closer to what you want and to the life that you know you were created to live. Finally, remind yourself you're a freaking badass. Like, every single day, wake up and remind yourself, like, I am a badass. Like, do that daily. Remind yourself of your true value and worth, because you are amazing. You're freaking awesome. And something that helps me, and we're actually going to go through this exercise. I created time for this on the podcast. We are going to create some I am statements. And so if you've never done affirmations before, now's your chance. We're going to break down some I am statements. I'm just going to kind of go through them. I'm going to say them. I'm going to give you a second to say them out loud. Yeah, you're going to say them out loud. So hopefully you can speak out loud. And if you can't, you can write them out if you're at your desk and listen to this later when you're in your car and just repeat it, because it's very powerful to speak this out loud, to not just listen to it. So here we go. I am grateful. I am powerful. I am strong. I'm confident. I am creating my own reality. I'm fun. I am light. I am limitless. I am joy. I am enough. I am smart. I am ever evolving. I am open to abundance. I am safe and secure. I am unstoppable. Save this podcast so you can re-listen to it and speak these truths. Something that's very powerful with these I am statements is if you think about the person that you are wanting to become. You are there right now. It's within you, but the things that you want to beckon out in yourself, the things that you want to bring out in yourself, it's that piece of you, your highest self, your best self. What does that person look like? How does she act? What does she do more of? What does she do less of? What is her? Give me some adjectives to describe this person. And it's you, but it's your highest self. And I spoke about this in the last podcast when we were talking about your vision and creating this reality. But the vision is you, right? It's not just what's around you. It's not just your environment. It's not just the car you own, the house you have, whatever. It's you. Who is that person? And sometimes we struggle to see that person because we haven't taken time to define her. And these I am statements can be super powerful because figuring out who that person is and working towards showing up for your highest self every single day is going to get you so much closer to exactly where you want to be, to taking back that confidence. You're not just going to wake up tomorrow and feel 100% confident, but you need to show up for that highest self, for that confident self every single day, unapologetically, until that confidence shows the F up for you. I spoke about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. It is so powerful. So my homework to you is to take these I am statements and make them your own. So make a list of the person, the highest self, who you are, who you want to be. And then you're going to take your name and you're going to say, so for me, it would be Jordan Gomez is powerful. And you're going to do that with all of the statements of your highest self, who you need to be, how you need to show up to reach your goals this year. And once you get that list together, it can be 10, 15, 20 things. You're going to write them down, put them on a mirror, put them somewhere, and you're going to repeat them every morning out loud while you're getting ready. Okay? It might feel weird at first. It might feel kind of silly saying your name like that, but it helps to not just say I am, but to say your name because you are that person right now. So even if you don't feel confident yet, your highest self is confident, right? Like your best self, what you're working towards is already there. It's just bringing it out of you. And so by speaking it every single morning, that's going to be a huge start for taking back your confidence. So I hope this helped. I hope the takeaways were helpful. Definitely let me know your thoughts on taking back confidence. If you want to share your story of how your confidence was taken from you or things you've done to take it back, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Definitely leave a review. Go ahead and screenshot and share this and let me know your biggest takeaway from this podcast episode. Tag me in it at Confidently Uncomfortable. And I am so thankful that you have taken this time for you because you are worth it. You are worth it. And so I appreciate you. I'm so thankful for you. And I hope that you recognize how truly powerful you are. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again for listening to Confidently Uncomfortable. I love being able to connect with you here and honestly don't want it to end. So head over to my Facebook group, Body Confident Blueprint, and be sure to follow me on Insta at JGoFitLife. Also, if you're ready to get real confidently uncomfortable, go leave this podcast a 5-star review and email me the review screenshot, support@jgofit360.com, for a chance to win a free 30-minute fitness audit and goal setting session. I appreciate your support. See you next time.